trust your gut? Or do you find yourself struggling to make decisions, waiting for that certainty that only ever comes with hindsight, doesn't it? Stay tuned. We've got something a little bit different for you today. Welcome to Midlife Unlimited, the podcast for women who want more. I'm your host, Kate Porter, the Midlife Metamorphosis Coach, and I'm delighted to be joined by I had to check the number, 87 guest, the wonderful Fiona Robertson, to give a taste of our audio episode that's available now wherever you get your podcasts, How to Talk to Dragons to Unleash Your Intuition. So welcome, Fiona. It's fabulous to have you here.
Thank you very much, Kate. And always a favorite topic of mine, how you to unleash your intuition. And yes, the dragons are my guides. Other people have different kind of guides. They talk to angels and everything else, but the dragons came through for me. They're feisty, they're very straightforward, and they're very cheeky. And you can call them in when you are in a dilemma.
Well, I say we've had not had it sounds like we've done angel, but we know we've had conversations about angels and soul signatures, but dragons are definitely a first for Midlife Unlimited. So, firstly, thank you for bringing them into my world, for bringing them into the listeners and viewers' world. That gut feeling and intuition, though, I mean, I think with so much changing in midlife, this can be a time when we're even less likely to be clear-headed or to trust our intuition, aren't we? There's so much going on.
But really, this is the exact time when the woman is moving into her crone. When you start to become really wise.
Yeah.
But
I
you're
like to
wise.
say sage first. I'm not
Yeah.
quite ready to be a crone. I'm a
No, the
Sarah and I
sage,
did an
crone.
episode about it. Yeah.
You become
So,
the oracle. Normally you're the head of the family, or
yeah.
people hopefully would go to you for information advice because you've got experience. And usually you have probably had experiences in your life when you think, how on earth did that happen?
Mm.
How did I know that? How did I know that? You may have manifested a house. You may have manifested something coming into your life, but you put it out there as a wish or a partner or something like that. A lot of people say, they've had things happen to them. But then what happens is when you're putting something out there and saying, well, I want to manifest that, I want to create that in my life. I want to go this way, I want my life to go that way. What's happening is you're putting something out there, but the information comes back to you. You will be pointed in a direction. Your intuition will come through that says, oh, why do I keep seeing things about that? Why
Mm.
do I keep looking at signs? Why do I keep getting these signs? So they're not random things, but you've put a request out there and your soul and your intuition is answering you.
Do you know that's really odd? Because on my morning walk, I do like about a 5K walk, and there's this house that I've lived in this area for years. It's not, but now I feel every time I walk past it, I feel really, and we're not looking to move, and it's a big old, but it would be wonderful for like doing retreats and that kind of thing. And it's out of my budget, but every time I walk, I almost get this goosebumpy feeling, and I keep thinking to myself, Kate, what is something going to happen? And now you're making me really think, talking to you again, it's like perhaps I need to start putting something out there. Perhaps there is something in this.
Sometimes we're taken towards things that say like yeah, I've signed up to be an extra in a film. And I just
Oh,
think it's such a out of the box thing for me, and I'm thinking, oh well, why not? It's such an adventure. But what if through that I just meet someone? Or what if through that I just have a change of heart or an idea comes in, or I'm living more on an adventure than I was before, raising my boys and everything very sensible and very serious. So when something tickles you, say like this house, it may
mm.
not be, oh, I don't want to buy that house. Why am I buying that
It's
house?
not even
But
for
it's
sale.
but it's putting ideas in your head. So it's
Mm.
opening up a different bandwidth for you. You're almost looking at things in a different way and kind of going, oh, what are all the possibilities? So one of the main things is when you're manifesting, especially when you talk to the dragons, or the messages that the dragons came through for me through the interviews with a dragon. What is it that you want? What's the feeling that you want? What is it that you want? And that's when your intuition can start coming through. Because sometimes we just keep things in our head. We've learned about affirmations, we've learned about journaling, we've learned about all these kind of things. But the dragons have said to me, oh my God, you humans, your heads are so full.
Oh
No
gosh.
information's coming through because you are so obsessed,
Mm.
addicted to thinking and analyzing and thinking.
And then limiting and compartmentalizing and
Yeah,
procrastinating. And
yeah,
well, you did mention the book, and I say I've got it, I've
yeah.
got my copy here. I can never do that. So I think we need to, viewers will be asking, okay, dragons, how did Fiona welcome dragons into your world? Have they been there since childhood? Is this a relatively new thing? Because I know if I suddenly encountered a dragon, I don't know how I'd react to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I've
it's like,
always
oh,
liked
go
dragons.
away.
Yeah, no, go stop.
Yeah.
I've always been, I am a year of the dragon. I've always been intrigued by dragons as far as the Chinese horoscope goes and all that kind of stuff. But I did hear, a message. I think I was just after a separation. I was living in Oxford, had my own business, and then I got this really loud voice just going, "Do you want to be doing this in 5 years' time?" And I was like, "Oh my God, no." So sometimes the dragons will come in like that,
Mm.
a very loud message through your soul, because what they're here to do is help direct your soul. Like, where do you want to go? What did you come into life for? Do you feel alive or are you just struggling? Are you just surviving? And obviously what was going through my mind at the time was like, God, what else is going on? Like, where am I going to go? What's my life all about? And then the information comes through. Do you want to be doing this in 5 years' time? It's like, oh no. So it's time to think about what it is that you do want. So that's one of the ways that the dragons came in for me. And then they sent me off traveling. I did a whole year of traveling at the age 39 and 40. My life just, your life begins at 40. My life
Yeah.
changed at 40.
Throw it all up in the air and see what comes
Like,
back down
gee,
again.
what's going to
Yeah.
happen? Second act, third act, fourth act. Anyway, so when I'd finished all of that and I'd moved to France, and then, I'd been guided to do certain things, and then I was guided to write a book. And I was like, what am I going to write a book about? But I kind of knew, a lot of things had happened, a lot of things had manifested. But through that book, I was channeling and I was finding information, I was remembering stories. And then I went on a deep meditation. Somebody was asking me to go through this channeling, and I was like, but I'm not a channel. I don't do channeling. But then when I went down into this, stepped out of my own way and just got down to a quieter level,
Mm.
I met my first dragon, and she's Seraphina. She's a huge, huge dragon, and she just came in as an eye to begin with.
That's why I love the cover. That's exactly how I
It,
envisaged when you said the eye. It's like,
yeah, the eye just came in, and could like, I don't see anything else other than the eyes. Like, wow, it's a huge eye. And then eventually the mist cleared, and there she was, and I was like, wow, I'm in the presence of a
but
dragon.
were
I've
you
always loved dragons.
fearful? Was it a
Not at
joyous
all.
feeling or?
No, because I was like, ooh. And then, your head starts going, well, I've always liked dragons. I can imagine why it's a dragon. Oh, why is a dragon here? And then as I was speaking, I asked a question, and I said, okay, so why am I here and what's this all about? All she said was in a very slow way was like, you don't know how powerful you are. Not me necessarily, one,
Mm,
how
yeah.
powerful you are when you can decide, oh, I'm the only one who can change what's going on in my life.
Mm.
Okay. And then she started just telling me like how we start to operate with intuition, how we start to operate telepathy, how we start to operate moving our way forward, like creating what's going on in our life. So even if an event is happening, a situation, and you think, oh my God, what she's saying is the laws of the universe are changing. So all they can bring to you is what they feel from you, like a great big Belisha beacon, like,
Mm.
fear, worry, stress. Oh, okay, well, that's all we can start sending you back is more situations like that. You've seen people in the doom cycle. They keep saying this isn't working and that's not working and this is shit and that's not working. Oh, excuse me. And then of course they just get more and more and more in that life. And what you're saying in your head is like, will you please stop telling that story?
But also, it's the kind of like, oh, right, I've tried this for 5 minutes. It's not working. I'm going to try something else rather than carrying on, giving the extra bit or actually thinking, why isn't it working? Not,
Yeah.
oh, it's wrong.
Yeah, so like what she was starting to tell me is like, well, how do you operate going forwards? You want different things to happen in your life. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same thing back. So basically, this was always what she was downloading for me, and this is what these interviews became just transcribed into what she actually told me. So I didn't change how she spoke and what she told me afterwards, but I was just trying to explain this is the way of how we operate now going forwards. We're using our intuition, we're being very astute, we're slowing things down. We're not necessarily going, oh, right, I've got a list of 20 things to do today, boom, 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 boom,
Mm.
staying in our heads about busy, 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 busy. But look, how can we slow down and use intuition, our guidance, to bring us into a different way of living? We've seen people that have made a massive trajectory change on their life, and you think, oh, I want that, but life's shit. Things aren't working out for me. You have to, you must change the way you operate if you want something different to happen.
Yeah. No. It's about, well, as you say, changing the story we're telling ourselves and taking responsibility, isn't it, as well? Because so often we do hear, oh, this is, life's happening to me. No, life, you need to take it back and actually realize what you can't control
Mm.
and stop trying to control it and then
Mm.
focus on what you can control. And that's where the change can begin, isn't it?
Yeah, the great thing that I discovered was, and they one of the messages that they came through, and I made those into dragon cards as well. So I've got the book and the dragon cards, was keep asking. And I was like,
Mm,
oh wow, I never realized it was a two-way just thing. I just thought I could just like, put information out there and just listen. No,
mm,
ask. What is it that you want? Like, I don't know how to do this. Please show me how.
mm,
And wait then for the information, the intuitive ideas to come through. Like, who's the person that I most need to speak to? Who would be? So I was looking for a publisher of one of my other books and talking about your intuition. So I was thinking, well, okay, is it this person? And I just kept getting my feeling for no, no, it's not that person. Is it this? No, it's not that person. No, no, no. And I was like, okay, well, I'm waiting. Like, find me the publisher. And then I thought, I've got to change the question.
mm,
Who do I know who knows a good publisher? Who knows would be the right publisher for this kind of work? This who gets it? And I got the picture of someone in my head, and I'm like, oh, I'll speak to Carrie. I rang Carrie, and she said, yeah, of course, I know the perfect publisher for you. And then I started working with that person. So sometimes we just need to change the question. If you're getting nothing back from your intuition, from
mm,
what you're feeling, it's like you just have to change the question to kind of ramp it up a little bit to sort of get it in from a different angle. That's how intuition works. So you can't keep doing the same thing you've always done. So we need to start realizing we have got invisible helpers. There is help out there. Whether it's for me, it's the dragons. It's always your soul. Your soul is always there to sort of guide you forward, and your soul speaks in your intuition.
mm,
If you're noticing number plates on a car, 222, 333, 444, 777, if you're noticing the time, that's all like, I'm here. I'm
mm.
here. Ask me. I'm here. Work with me. Include me in your life.
Because another key takeaway from our audio episode, again, available wherever you listen to your podcast, is that phrase obviously about being honest with ourselves. But the great two words that you used, I think it was to one of your clients or a friend of yours, grow up, just
I
take
know.
responsibility and yeah, get with it, get with the plan. Let's do it.
Get with the program. So one of the times when I was really on my knees, like financially, and I just realized, oh my God, it's the story that I'm telling. It's the story that I'm telling. And the dragons will come in. Dragons, I say it is my soul, it's the dragons, my guides. They were just like, grow up. It's like, well, that's a bit harsh. Grow up. Like take responsibility, charge. Like, what is it that you want? Make a decision. What is it that you want? How are you going to go about it? How are you going to change? Who are you going to move into? Who is the woman who responds to life in that way?
Mm,
And if I say that to any of my clients, and this is what we laughed about before, I'm like, I can't say that to her. No, no, say it. Say those words. I'm like, no, I can't say that to her. It's like harsh. Say it. So I say, okay, but I'm being asked to say to you, it's time to grow up. I mean, grow up. I'm 50. I've got grandchildren. I'm like, yeah, but you're still complaining about your mum.
mm,
You're still complaining about your work. You're still complaining about your, okay. Let's see if we can create that in a way and ask for assistance and be someone different, being someone different in your energy so that the life can respond to you in a different way.
Mm, yeah. Now you've mentioned Serafina, but she's not alone, is she? So before I let you go, can you talk the viewers through your other dragon? Were they friends with guides? How would you refer to them? All of the
They are.
above.
They're my teachers as far as manifesting and things go. So they became my teachers, and each of them had a particular part of the whole journey. So Serafina would always say, "What's the big picture? What are you here for? What do you want? Like, what is it that you need? What is it that you want?" And then Raphael, who's a wonderful silver dragon, you can imagine it as your favorite professor with like glasses halfway down his nose. But he's so patient and he's saying, "Give me the details. I want more details. I want more details. You're being vague. Give me more details." Because you've not thought about how it feels to step into that reality. You've not thought about what it feels or what it smells like or the texture or the energy of someone. So like you can feel into the energy of someone whether you trust them or whether you don't trust them. So always to do with the feeling. You've got Luna Ray. She's a wingless dragon, but she's very magical and she helps you understand the difference, the nuances between the feelings. You know, like someone can say, "Oh, I'm nervous." Yeah, but is that excitement? You know,
Yeah.
there's a
Nerve excitement, yes.
yeah, there's a nuance between them. So like, do you know where fun is in your body? And most people would kind of go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I'm like, "Well, what did you last do for fun?" And they're like, "Oh, actually, it's a bit embarrassing. I haven't done anything for fun for a long while." Like fun for me is like going up a bouncy castle and wanting
Jumping
to
in a
go.
puddle. Yeah.
Yeah, and do something that's kind of a bit childish or and fun. You can feel fun in your body. It kind of grips you, and it's like, oh.
Mm,
And you, when you're in fun, you can't help but lash out and have an expression of fun. So, most people are not. They're very much in steady, secure, sensible, serious
mm,
survival. So she's educating us about feeling your way forwards. And
mm,
then you've got Sovereign, and Sovereign's very much about, she's a regal, purple, magnificent dragon, but she's saying, get in touch with your soul. All the messages from her are get in touch with your soul. Let your soul come through with your intuition. So this is becoming the team and the family that I then worked with. Who's another one? Oh, Bloom. That's why I wear so much pink. She's naughty. She's reckless. She's never been tamed or bonsaied or clipped. She's more like Lady Gaga or Pink. So she's kind of naughty and rebellious. But there are other dragons that I call in for different things. Like I've got a business dragon, and he's so, oh my God, it's like going into court sometime when you speak to him. He's like, he really wants to know, and he's very not critical, but he's always moving you forwards. I've got a money dragon, and I don't know whether I told you this story before, but I called in a French dragon for something. So
mm.
I had to go to a friend's house, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be full of French people, and my French is okay, but it's one to one, but not in a crowd. And I went, do you know what? Let's just see if this works. I'm going to call in a French dragon, and just so that I can have an easier conversation, I can be more tuned in
Mm.
and my mouth can start, working and operating in the French way. So I was coming back after a day of being like this, and someone was in the car with me, and they said, I'm really impressed with you today. Your French was okay." And I was like, "Yeah, I had a French head on." I said, "Do you want to know what I did?" And he went, "I yeah, okay." And I said, "Well, I called in a French dragon." He's like, "Oh, okay." Carried on driving.
Yeah.
Too much information.
Yeah.
Well, like there are, you've got help for everything. Oh, my voice is going. You've got help for everything. You can just call in a version of you from the past. You can call in a dragon. You can call in something to help you through that particular part. The dragons often talk about setting up your day. Some of it, most of us just go into day like, oh my God, I've got so much to do, like this and this and this and this. But we've not ever asked for like, oh, I'd actually really like enough energy to get through the day, to be really focused, to drive safely, and have energy at the end of the day so that I'm not, you know.
Yeah.
So we can ask, and they're often saying like, this is your intuitive like part of you coming through in so many different ways that have never been thought about before, that you have non-physical help.
Mm. I love this. I love this. Now, obviously, I've been waving your book around. All your contact details are in the show notes, and you have your guest profile on the Midlife Unlimited
Yep.
podcast website. Put my teeth back in. But could you please talk through for the viewers how they can get in touch with you?
Yes.
No, I won't.
No, I won't. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So yeah, my book is available. You've got the link. My cards are available. You've got the link. They're all on my website, though my website is needing of a revamp. But what I wanted to do today was just like, if you're wanting a conversation about how do I implement my intuition for myself, like, or what is this intuition that's coming through to me? How do I decipher it? Like, well, how does it
Mm,
work? Hop on a 20-minute call with me, because what happens often is when things are not working out or what's happening, sometimes we have subliminal messages that are going on in the background. Often business women, for example, come through to me and they say, I've tried everything, nothing's working. But often they're being asked to shift how their business is working, shift the angle that they're coming from. And sometimes the soul intervenes, the business intervenes because everything's got energy,
mm.
and you're being asked just to sort of, shift. And what I do within those 20 minutes is just do a little bit of a reading for you and just to understand where you're at and what's going on. So I'll let you have a link for that. Like, you can just have like a soul to soul conversation with me and we'll just look at the intuitive messages that are coming through.
Love that. So I will make sure that's the link on your guest profile on the website and in the show notes as well. And viewers, I'd love your feedback on today's episode. Also, please subscribe, click the buttons. And you can find all my contact details there as well. I'm just thinking, I don't think I've got a link for a little chit chat with me, so I'll make sure I pop one of those in as well. But there's details of how you can find out more about working with me one to one and by joining my all-in-one program more, because that's what we want. We want to do less. We want to do our quitters revolution. So come and find out more about that. Fiona, it's been wonderful as ever to chat. I've loved it. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. As I say, please subscribe, because the more subscribers, it helps the algorithms. And that's what we want, people to find Midlife Unlimited. So here's to being fabulous and flourishing together and living Midlife Unlimited. Thanks, Fiona. It's been brilliant. Bye.
Okay, bye.